Combi boiler reviews. My name's Alan Hart and today we're going to do a review on the BAXI 600 and we're going to compare it with the new Worcester Bosch 2000. This is going to be a fairly in-depth review from the size of the boiler, so we'll look to see if they'll both fit in a cupboard, to what accessories you get with the boiler, and then we'll do a full strip down of both boilers as well, so you can have a look inside and you can see the quality of each boiler. What I'd really like is if you can, at the moment now, if you could pause this video and if you could just put what you think of the boilers before, and then afterwards at the end, if you could also then put what you think of the boiler, and yeah, just let me know your opinion, and that'd be really helpful. And also it gives a big balance for anybody else who's watching, so it's not just my opinion, it's everybody's opinion. So if you could do that, I'd be very grateful. And I'm still smiling, Jess. Thank you. Start by measuring a standard cupboard, and then what we'll do, we'll have a look at the boilers and we'll see which one will fit in a standard cupboard or both. So standard cupboard, so my cupboard here is 320 millimeters, which is 32 centimeters. On the BAXI 600 range of boilers, we need 290 millimeters, so that's 285 is the boiler depth, and then we need 5 millimeters clearance in front of the boiler to the door, to the cupboard door. We've also got 700 millimeters for the height of the boiler, so you'd have to make sure that that will also fit within the cupboard, and also check the manufacturer's instructions for the full clearances above and below. Included in them clearances on the BAXI 600 range, so that's the 624, the 630 and the 636. You can also take the pipes up the back, and that's included in that depth. So it's a cupboard fit boiler and the pipes can go up the back on it. Let's take a look at the Worcester 2000, so the Worcester Bosch 2000 combi boiler. This is a little bit harder to understand. For some reason they don't put the dimensions on here, and you've got to have a look below. The boiler depth is Z, which is 300 millimeters, so that's about, well, that's 15 millimeters more than the BAXI. And the width is 400. The BAXI, the width was 390. But the most important is, will it fit in a cupboard, which is number 8. And number 8 is 320 millimeters. So as we can see on there, it will fit in a cupboard. Obviously we'd have to check these clearances on here to make sure you've got your clearance above and below. So the Worcester 2000 or the Worcester Bosch 2000 will fit in a cupboard. There's no space on the Worcester to put the pipes up the back, so if you did need to put the pipes up the back, you'd need to see if Worcester do a standoff kit for it. Which combi boiler is best? So what I'd like you to do now is pause the video again and put some comments below and tell me what you think or your opinion of the boiler is so far. Now, to look at the boilers, which one looked best? Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. To me, I'm not really bothered what a boiler looks like, as long as it's easy to work on. That's the most important thing. Most of the time boilers are going to be in cupboards, or they're going to be in garages or somewhere where you're not going to be looking at them. So yeah, so that's up to you. Which one looks best? Again, please add it in comments below. Both boilers, you've got your pressure gauge on the front, so they're both easy to see. With the Worcester doesn't come with a filling loop, so you need to buy your own filling loop for the Worcester 2000 or the Worcester Bosch 2000. The BAXI 600 range, so the 624, the 630, the 636, they all come with a built-in filling loop. So what we'll do now, we'll take the covers off and we'll have a look inside. Always remember, if you're going to take a cover off a boiler, you must be gas safe registered or competent to work on gas boilers. So yeah, so let's have a look inside. To remove the cover on the BAXI, we've got a screw on the left and a screw on the right, and the case will just lift off. And same on the Worcester 2000, one on the left and one on the right, and the case will just lift off. Just before we look inside these boilers, we just see for the size of them. Don't know if you can see there, but the Worcester's ever so slightly bigger, but not an issue really. One thing I will say about these Worcesters is the pipework here. I can only describe it as absolutely shocking. The pipes don't line up. Now this is my personal opinion. So this is my personal opinion, but I just can't understand why Worcester would do pipework like that. It's just crazy. So on the BAXI, the pipes on the back, they all come down nice and level, and they can go up the back as well, nice and level. So nice and easy, you don't have to have any offsets on, and they'll go directly into clips with no issues. On the Worcester, they're all over, so you're gonna have to put offsets and bends on and to bring them all back to the wall, which is then gonna mean rather your boxing below has to stick out more to cover it. I just think it's not very well thought out, that. Please put some comments below and give me your feedback and tell me what you think. Anyway, let's have a look. Let's have a look inside the boilers now. If we take the case off the BAXI, the first thing we'll notice is we've got the heat exchanger on the left hand side. That's a stainless steel heat exchanger, and we'll strip that down shortly and I'll show you inside. And then we've got the expansion vessel on the right hand side. If we take the case off the Worcester, we can see we've got the expansion vessel on the left hand side, and we've got the heat exchanger on the right hand side, and that's an aluminium heat exchanger. When we look underneath the front panel, the pipes are all underneath on the BAXI 600, so it makes it all nice and tidy, and the pipes go back to the wall and they also all line up. When we look at the Worcester, the pipes stick down lower than the bottom of the boiler, and also because they don't go back to the wall, it makes it a little bit more not as neat. Worcester do supply a plastic cover that goes over up front, but it doesn't look as good as on the BAXI, in my opinion anyway. Just my opinion. So what do we think so far? I would say so far BAXI are absolutely smashing it. Please add a comment below and let me know what you think. As for pricing, if we buy a filling link for the Worcester, at the moment the Worcester is about £50 more expensive. What we're going to do now, we're going to have a look inside the boiler. I'm going to take the burners out and we'll see how easy they are to strip down. At the moment the Worcester comes with a new controller, and that comes in the box with the boiler. You can only use a Worcester Bosch control at the moment, and with the BAXI you can use any controller that you like. So if you like to use a Nest, or if you want to put it onto multi-zones, then the BAXI definitely is the winner. There's no doubts about it. So yeah, let's have a look inside the boiler. If we pull down the front flap on the BAXI, that just pulls down nice and easy. On the Worcester, there's a little clip here. Just pull that down, and again that lifts down nice and easy. The Worcester one does feel quality, to be honest. I like that clip. clips in and it's going to stay there. It's not going to fall down. The BAXI one is a little bit more flimsier, and if you put a number of wires in there, sometimes it's a little bit more difficult to stay up. But saying that, it's not really going to make any difference, because once the front cover's on, it's not going to fall down anyway. So when we look inside the boiler, if we look inside both boilers, if we look inside the BAXI 600, first of all we can see it's got a Grundfos pump, which is a 1560 pump. It's got the PRV and it's forward facing, really easy to get on. So if you ever need to change the PRV, then you can easily get onto that. Gas valve, fan. We've got the diverter head and cartridge here, and we've got the plate heat exchanger just at the back here. Everything in that boiler is easy to work on. And then just at the top, if we look at the top here, we've got stainless steel heat exchanger, and then we've got us burner door here. We've got the Diverter valve on the top on the BAXI 600, so it's very easy to service. When you come to service it and you need to pump up the expansion vessel, you can pump it up and it'll be nice and easy to do. If we move over to the Worcester Bosch 2000, if you are a lover of the manufacturer's controls, it's very easy. It just has this little thing and it just plugs in into this plug socket here, which is just underneath the boiler. So if you like this control, then that's brilliant. If we have a look inside the boiler, we've got the condensate trap here, which it's a little bit of a strange one on me, this one. I'll just show you the link to that. I'll just show you that link above here now somewhere. So for the condensate discharge, number one, it is a requirement that the condensate drain be installed internally. Number two, if external disposal is the only means of the condensate discharge, then the condense-shore siphon or a condensate pump must be fitted. So that's another item that you then need to buy. It's a bizarre one, this, really, because on other models of Worcesters they have a better trap than this, or in my opinion it's a better trap anyway. Please comment below and tell me what you think, or your opinion of this trap. It does come out nice and easy, and there's actually a little cap on there, so if you ever, if you ever need to clean it out later, that'll be really easy. So it's good. We'll just zoom in to the bottom of this now. So when we're looking bottom, we've got plastic components. We've got our composite, they like to call them. We've got plate heat exchanger, one screw, that comes out really easy. Then we've got us pump, which is a Wilo pump. I'm just going to take this plate out. I'll just show you how easy it is. So as I say, it's just one screw here, one long screw. And it just lifts out that nice and easy. The diverter valve is right at the back here, which looks like it'll be quite awkward to get into, especially when boiler's been full of water. So it's not that easy to get into. And then the blow off is here, and you can get to it if you take the plate out. So, which I don't think's I don't think it's a great idea really. I like the blow off where you can get to it, but yeah. It's a bit of a strange one really. Worcester seem to make everything over complicated. These two screws here, and you can take this cover off, which I'll do now, but bear in mind if this is in a cupboard, you're not going to be able to get into this. Unlike on the BAXI, if you take the screws out on the BAXI, the full side comes off and you can get into it all, but I'll show you the difference now. What I'll do is I'll just remove these two screws here, and I'll show you how much space that you've got once you've taken the screws out. So it comes off, it does come off nice and easy. And it's got some little grooves in there. And it's a little bit tricky, or I found it a little bit tricky to go back on. So we'll zoom into that now and I'll show you that side bit. So if we look at the side bit at the bottom, it's just a little gap. If this had all been out here, you'd have been able to get your hands in at a diagonal over here from the front, which I think would have been a bit better, like you can at the top. So if you've ever got to take the heat exchanger out on there, that'll make that a bit easier. What we'll do, we'll compare that now to the BAXI. Although with the BAXI, you can do almost all of it front. You don't really need to take side panels off for any of it. But I'll take side panels off and I'll show you. To remove the side panels on the BAXI, we've got a screw in the bottom, we've got a screw here, and they've got one in the top. As I say, you won't really ever need to take these off, but for purposes of this video, I'll just take them off. The Worcester one comes off a little bit easier than this one, to be honest. And again, same with this side. And it comes off again. If we look in both boilers from the front, we can see that the BAXI is very, very easy to work on, and you don't need to start replacing or taking out other parts to get into it, to work on it, and you can get to every part easy. I think that my personal opinion, that is the best sort of design, where you don't need to take other parts out to get into any of it. If we look at the Worcester, in here, this looks like this is going to be a little bit awkward to work on. Also the components in here are plastic or composite. Worcester have had issues in the past with plastic components. Spend a lot of time repairing leaks on Worcesters. The heat exchanger, I'm going to have to take all this out to get into the heat exchanger and then work on it from above downwards, a bit like the old one. I haven't taken one of these out yet, we'll do that shortly. And again, back to the BAXI, the components inside are brass and they're easy to get to. So as always, if you're going to work on gas boilers, you must be gas safe, registered or competent to do so. What we'll do now is we'll have a look in the burner on the BAXI. So there's just a few plugs to undo, and obviously we would make sure this was all electrically safe. Just a nut on here. So I've just removed the 4 bolts on the front. We'll just remove the front cover. So that's your stainless steel heat exchanger that's inside the BAXI. Let's have a look now in the Worcester. This is the first Worcester, or the new Worcester Bosch 2000. It's the first one that I've stripped down. So yeah, so let's have a look. I think we'll take the fan out first. Just need to be careful with this pipe here. This is it's like a rubber rubber pipe for gas. You can see that. Just undo these plugs off here. And that comes out nice and easy. Then we've just unclipped his leads off the top here, and then we've just got one nut here to unscrew off. And that's the top off the heat exchanger. If we have a look on the top then, it's just very similar. It looks very similar to one of the old ones. So we've got a rubber seal here, and then I imagine we've got some baffles. Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll take them baffles out now. So we've just got his rubber washer, or his whatever that's made of, washer. We've got the electrodes. So this is a brand new boiler. I bought this out of my own money, especially for this video. Got the baffles. That's one of them. And there's probably one further down. Yeah, and there's another baffle further down. And to have a look and inspect the heat exchanger, you need a mirror as per the manufacturer's instructions. So that's inside the Worcester 2000, the Worcester Bosch 2000 combi boiler, and it's the inside of the BAXI 600 combi boiler. The BAXI comes with a 7-year parts and labour warranty, and the Worcester comes with a 5-year guarantee. So that's as BAXI and as Worcester. Which one do you think is best and why? Please add some comments below, and I'll be very grateful for some feedback. My opinion, I just think they're night and day, to be honest. I think there's some really good points with the Worcester. Some points they've come on a long way, and they're just not as good as some other makes of boilers. That's my opinion. The BAXI for me, yeah, the BAXI is just miles better. That's my opinion. So as I say, what's your opinion? And please put it in the comments below. Thank you for watching.